Welcome to Lakewood, Colorado, where the metro meets the mountains and everything feels possible. This is a city full of life. Beautiful parks, vibrant neighborhoods, and a community that shows up for each other. It's a place people are proud to call home. Just minutes from Denver and a gateway to the Rockies, Lakewood offers easy access, strong mobility, and a quality of life that keeps people here for the long haul. Across the city, spaces are being reimagined into modern destinations. Businesses are expanding, and new ideas are coming to life every day. Lakewood invests in possibility, revitalizing corridors, supporting innovative design, and nurturing projects that bring new energy to every neighborhood. Lakewood is full of momentum, full of life, full of possibilities.
Good afternoon. Please rise for the national anthem sung by the Lakewood Youth Musical Theater Program Group, as well as Empire Lyric Players.
That's great.
Welcome to Lakewood.
Ready? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
All right, great job. So wonderful. Well, welcome to the 2026 Lakewood State of the City. I'm glad to see everyone here today. I'm Tom Quinn, Executive Director for Alameda Connects and the Alameda Corridor Business Improvement District. And we really appreciate Mayor Strom for bringing this event back, the Lakewood State of the City. I believe the last one was 2018. That was a few years ago, and took a bit of a hiatus during COVID. So it's now returned, and we're glad to have it back. And let's see. The first thing we want to do, before introducing Mayor Strom, we're going to thank all of our sponsors for this great event today. Starting off with Republic Services, and then we have Belmar, Metro West Housing Solutions, Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design, Cigna Healthcare, Bloom Media, First Bank, now part of PNC, Lakewood Country Club, Red Rocks Community College, West Colfax Community Association, and the Alameda Corridor Business Improvement District. The generous donations from our sponsors today will go to support our nonprofit partners Those would be 40 West Arts District, Alameda Connects, and of course, the Action Center. And we thank you all for your contributions or your sponsorship of the event today. You can also support these organizations by scanning the QR code in your program and donating directly to them. And so now we'll move on to the main event and introducing Mayor Strom. Wendy Strom got her start by election to Lakewood City Council in 2021 in Ward 5. And quickly showing her skills as a leader, her collaborative leadership, partnership-oriented leadership style. And she won election as Lakewood's mayor in 2023. And as I said, Wendy has brought a collaborative partnership leadership style to the city and has really moved forward during that time. In reflecting on Wendy's first 2 years as mayor, I'm reminded of a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt. Good leaders inspire people to have confidence in their leader. Great leaders inspire people to have confidence in themselves. And we've seen that in Wendy's first 2 years in office. She's inspired confidence in her fellow city councilors, in city employees, as well as city volunteers to step forward, to innovate, to collaborate, and to move forward boldly, rather than just accepting the status quo. And so with that, I want to introduce Mayor Strom. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Strom to the stage.
Thank you, Tom, for the kind words. I couldn't be more thrilled to finally host my first State of the City event and bring this very valued tradition back to Lakewood. I want to start by thanking everyone that has come out today. Whether you are in the room here or you're watching online, you are here because you understand the importance of staying informed and being involved in our city. The proceeds from our generous sponsor donations for today's event will benefit 3 valuable nonprofits in our Lakewood community: the Action Center, Alameda Connects, and the 40 West Arts District. So not only does this event serve as your opportunity to get the skinny about Lakewood, but it's also a way to support some of our very valued community partners who do work day in and day out to make Lakewood better. Please consider donating to these 3 organizations, whether it's $5 or more. Any dollar you can contribute stays right here in Lakewood. You'll find a QR code, in fact, in today's program that'll go straight to a donation page. So why are we here today? As Tom mentioned, the last State of the City in Lakewood was in 2018 and was hosted by Mayor Adam Paul. While it took us a while to get here today, since elected, I have felt that it is time to bring back this treasured tradition with a change in format that would make it easier for you all to join us. These events are an important way to increase transparency, to highlight our accomplishments, to share our challenges, and most importantly, connect with you, our very valuable community members. It's important that you get to hear directly from me, and I do hope that today's event will leave everyone here walking away with a renewed understanding and maybe even some excitement about some of the things going on in your local government. And what a great year to bring back the State of the City tradition. Not only is it the 250th anniversary of the United States, it is also Colorado's 150th anniversary and Heritage Lakewood Belmar Park's 50th anniversary. You'll see these milestones celebrated throughout the year in multiple community programs. So Tom talked about how I got here, and I want to say I take the job of being your mayor very seriously. And in this role, I bring a strong sense of passion and commitment to our home city. Never does a day go by without me realizing the enormity of the responsibility of this role. I chose to live, like many of you, here in Lakewood, and actually about 20 years ago, because of the proximity to the mountains and downtown, because of our parks and our great Jeffco public schools. But since moving here, I found that Lakewood is so much more than that. It's incredible people, it's great shopping, it's wonderful local restaurants, a thriving art scene, business opportunities, and top-notch healthcare facilities, as well as an overall profound sense of community. I could not ask for a better place to live and a better place to serve. Someone recently asked me why I wanted to be mayor, and honestly, it was because we all deserve good, thoughtful leadership. I served 2 years on the city council prior to running for mayor, and we had such great work in progress that I wanted to see that work through and build upon it, so here we are today. While this job is challenging, I will say it is rewarding beyond measure. It truly feeds my soul. There is nothing like the feeling of waking up the day after an important decision, an impactful one at a city council meeting, one that I know that hands down lives have been positively impacted, like addressing safety on our streets or implementing our newly opened homeless navigation center. While we know that we will never always agree, we all benefit when we work collectively for the betterment of our city. That is why the theme for today's State of the City speech is Together We Thrive. I will focus today on the incredible progress that happens when City Council, staff, our residents, businesses, and volunteers all come together. Have we arrived, or are we done? Both. Two things can be true. Lakewood is actually seen as a model by many other cities for a variety of reasons, but we still have much to do to continue to serve and support our community members. Today, I'll talk about the accomplishments achieved, the challenges we have faced and continue to face, as well as the City Council priorities for the upcoming year. And I'll cap off today's speech with an exciting announcement about how you too can join the effort to serve and support our community. So let's start with last year's accomplishments and how they relate to the City Council goals for the year, which are shown up here on the screen. While the City Council sets the strategy and the vision for our city, it's the city manager, Kathy Hodson, who leads our incredible city staff to carry out that vision through the city's day-to-day operations. I'll highlight the progress that has been made for each of the City Council's strategic visionary goals through the work of city staff, starting with trust and accountability in government. Community engagement opportunities are a key component of trust and accountability. One of the biggest accomplishments that staff made over this last year was launching the redesigned city website with a secure.gov domain. That improved usability, credibility, and, I would say most importantly, cybersecurity. I personally love the new search functionality on the website. You can type in the topic you're looking for and it takes you right to the applicable page. We've had extremely positive feedback from residents on this, and I hope it provides a useful tool for all of you as you're looking to engage with the city. Check out the website magnets in the lobby for more information. Lots of different websites, although, as I just mentioned, you have a search function, it'll take you right there. Another community tool is the Request Lakewood system. That is our one-stop customer service hub for residents to tell us about all kinds of things, potholes, street light outages, homeless encampments, code enforcement, you name it. These requests are ultimately routed directly to the applicable staff member and tracked for timely responses, working to create a more efficient process and a better customer service experience for you. In fact, staff processed 14,300 service requests through that system last year. That's an 18% increase from 2024. And gone are the days that we have to wait for office hours to call in to report a problem. As residents, we can now submit our requests every day, all day. I had a resident call in the office in February to express appreciation for staff and the Request Lakewood system. He had reported potholes on 13th Avenue and was amazed at the incredible turnaround of just 2 days for them getting fixed. So quick thank you to all of our staff who made that happen. The Lakewood Police Department's new transparency portal is also officially live. This online tool gives our community access to clear, easy to understand information about police operations, including data on calls for service and crime statistics. Transparency builds understanding, and ultimately, understanding builds trust. And this portal is an important step in continuing that work together. The next 2025 City Council goal was affordable housing, which is extremely challenging, yet arguably one of the most important goals the City Council and staff have faced and continue to face. The development agreement of the Bend Urban Renewal Area was approved last year, advancing redevelopment and affordable housing opportunities along West 6th Avenue and Union Boulevard. That development will include 2,000 new residential units, while also including approximately 200 legally defined affordable units and 100,000 square feet of retail space, including public plazas and open space, The project will help address the housing deficit that we have here in Lakewood, while also furthering economic growth. The city also worked with Jeffco Public Schools and the Action Center on a long-term solution to add resources for our people in need. The city purchased Emory Elementary School and the surrounding property, and then subsequently sold the former school site to the Action Center while keeping the surrounding 7.2 acres. The Action Center is now working to transform the former Emory Elementary School into a vibrant, family-friendly community campus to provide a suite of services. This one-stop hub is crucial to the City Council's vision of supporting hardworking families at a time of unprecedented financial challenges. The City Council also voted to purchase the Action Center's current facility up on West 14th Avenue, making a strategic investment in the site that can support future affordable and transitional housing. This site is currently being leased back to the Action Center while the renovations are happening at Emory. Today, I also have a great update about the Emory site. The Action Center has now shared that the Emory Center will be renamed to the Daylight Collective. Last year, the Action Center served nearly 61,000 families in need, and it will soon be able to serve even more families with the new larger space of Daylight Collective. Council also worked diligently to find ways to increase housing that's more affordable for our first-time homebuyers, our teachers, firefighters, and frontline workers, like those crucial workers that we find every day in our doctor's offices and the restaurants that we love. In last week's special election, 35,574 people cast their vote to voice their opinion on the updated zoning code passed last year by the City Council. Just over 22,000 people, or 62% of the votes we received, communicated the message that that code was not a solution that those community members wanted to see move forward. With that, our zoning rules from 2012 will now remain in place. The selection was one that evoked a lot of emotion for many across our community. For those of you that are watching here today that have concerns about housing affordability, know that Council's commitment to coming up with solutions to this has not wavered. And for those of you that are watching that have worked hard and are already in a home that you can afford today, protecting your ability to stay there for as long as you want to and preserving that unique character in the neighborhood that you love is also very important. Housing and affordability will continue to be a priority for the City Council for the foreseeable future, because if we don't have housing for our frontline workers, our community will suffer. A continuing shortage of attainably priced homes will make it more and more difficult to keep and attract new businesses to Lakewood. Our schools will continue to struggle with enrollment and possible closures as young families are finding it that they're not able to afford raising a family here in Lakewood. This is not what we want in Lakewood. I hear it from you regularly. We want a vibrant, economically prosperous community. That includes our local small businesses that are having a very difficult time being able to pay the people that are trying to work and live here in our community. And what that ends up looking like is that we now have a lot of businesses that are hiring people that are coming from across the metro area and contributing to the congestion that I know that frustrates all of us. So we will continue to work on this. The bottom line is our job as your city council and even for city staff is both to meet not only the needs of our residents today, but while also planning for the residents' needs of the future. Now let's talk about homelessness. I know this topic is at the forefront of many people's minds, and residents see the growing number of individuals who are unhoused as home prices continue to rise. I will tell you that there is no easy answer, and cities across the nation are facing a similar reality. In Jefferson County, homelessness increased by 27% between 2024 and 2025, which has the highest rate of increase in homelessness in the metro area. Jefferson County has the highest rate of increase of homelessness in the metro area. In fact, on any given night, more than 1,100 people across our county are experiencing homelessness today. This makes the Navigation Center here in Lakewood more important than ever. Lakewood recently partnered with Volunteers of America, Colorado on what we now call the NAV Center. It's now open and it's running with a new 24/7, 365 model. This is huge. We are so excited about the addition of this to our community. This center provides comprehensive housing-focused support to help individuals transition out of homelessness. The facility will serve up to 100 individuals at a time. I heard it actually best described recently as a starting point, not a finish line, but either way, it is a critical step. In addition to the NAV Center, the city has dedicated multiple other resources to address homelessness. The Community Action Team, known as the CAT team, and homeless navigators work together to address homelessness with valuable resources. The navigators have been able to move over 100 residents into shelters and housing since their work began just a few short years ago. Thank you. One particularly touching success grew from a simple traffic stop about an expired license plate. Our police agent, Lisa Davis, changed the course of one family's life by connecting them with one of our housing navigators when she learned that the family had been living in motels for 9 years and simply didn't have the money to pay their car registration. As Agent Davis had said, she sees her role as steering residents on a good path instead of simply putting them further behind. Her work to connect them to the housing navigator resulted in that family moving into an apartment for the first time since their teenage daughter was a small child. The next city council goal prioritized, I know, maybe this one isn't as exciting, but it's public safety and transportation and infrastructure. An improved public safety response is an important component of this goal, and I'm extremely impressed with that the police department has accomplished in this area. Here are a few statistics to highlight public safety improvements. Lakewood achieved a 14% reduction in the most serious crimes over the last 36 months through targeted policing and operational improvements. The police department implemented a drone as first responders program, which is now used in nearly 40% of calls for service and improving emergency response efficiency. And in response to community concerns, the Lakewood Police Department conducted an annual enforcement initiative called the Registration Roundup. And this year, for the Registration Roundup, actually 899 citations were issued. That included several arrests that were made related to vehicle registration violations. Thank you, PD. The Colorado Auto Theft Prevention Authority Metropolitan Auto Theft Task Force, say that 3 times, it also now has a first-of-its-kind camera capable of capturing latent fingerprints, DNA, and body fluids recovered from stolen vehicles, which will aid in solving auto theft cases. The Auto Theft Task Force is actually managed by Lakewood Police Department, although it works to prevent auto theft across the metropolitan area. One of the best safety-related achievements that I've heard this past year resulted in the saving of a life at one of our rec centers. Lakewood lifeguards, Ian, TJ, Claire, and Gabrielle were awarded the West Metro Citizen Award for life-saving actions at Carmody Rec Center. In July, one of our lap swimmers lost consciousness in the water and was pulled out by another swimmer and Lakewood staff. The staff provided CPR and administered an AED while giving a life-saving shock that restarted the swimmer's heart, literally saving a life. Let's give a round of applause to those guards. When it comes to building a safer, stronger future, the West Colfax Transportation Safety Project and the North Dry Gulch Improvement Project are doing exactly that. As the largest infrastructure investment in Lakewood history, these projects are making it safer to drive, walk, or ride a bus on West Colfax Avenue, all the while also removing from the floodplain 150 properties that are across the corridor. The council also committed to a more robust capital improvement project or budget, specifically for streetlights, safety improvements, to make our transportation network complete system that serves every single user. That means more work has been done with traffic calming measures, such as reducing the speed limit on residential streets to 20 miles per hour and updating the city's bicycle plan. Our world continues to change, and that's why making our community more sustainable and resilient has also been a city council priority. Here are some of the great projects that have come from this priority. Raise your hand if you've been to Charles Whitlock Recreation Center in the last few months. I can't see all of them, but I know there's some out there. The electricity for that building is now 100% solar powered. And this is, yes, thank you. We have a lot to celebrate. 100% solar powered, and this is thanks to the project that installed solar panels on the rooftop and on parking canopies in the parking lot. This system will lower the city's operating costs, it reduces environmental impacts, and, added bonus, protects patron vehicles during storms. I mean, who's not had a hail problem we haven't been frustrated about, right? All in all, the numbers from 2025 are impressive. Our sustainability program saved over 800,000 gallons of water, diverted 86,400 pounds of yard waste, and launched 86 free home energy audits. And we've only just begun. Our new Zero Waste group launched yard waste recycling events in each of the city's wards in 2025 and started the Lakewood Compost Food Scrap Drop Program, again, say that 3 times, which allows residents to compost their organic food waste for just $5 a month. The city's dedicated community resources team also hosted several sustainability-related events, including the city's annual tree sale, mulch giveaway, Arbor Day, leaf, and Christmas tree recycling. And our city's fleet of vehicles now includes more than 40 electric vehicles, and we're working at present to expand our public charging stations to our recreation centers as well. And the final city council goal for 2025 was a thriving economy. I know that seems very broad, but several initiatives related to it were. The city awarded $400,000 in youth program grants to 24 nonprofit organizations. Our Economic Development Office offered grants for small businesses to improve their properties and address safety concerns. We also ramped up our Shop Lakewood campaign to highlight the wonderful businesses in the city. Make sure to follow our social media channels, and you might just discover your new favorite restaurant. So I've just shared some of the exciting accomplishments to celebrate. Now let's talk about some of the challenges. First being homelessness. Homelessness continues to be a challenge, especially as we're continuing to address or look at the rising cost of living here in our city. But we are continuing to take important steps on this topic as well. While we are offering more resources to combat homelessness than ever before, we know that Lakewood residents are frustrated with homeless encampments moving from one location to another. We are continuing to explore a variety of additional solutions we hope to have in place soon, along with prioritizing funding for transitional and affordable housing. You keep a roof over your head, you have less homeless people. That is our goal. One of the city's biggest challenges, however, is an issue that cities across our state face. our primary way of paying for services that our very important residents, like all of you, are asking to have. Sales taxes by our shoppers is what pays for much of that. The money from shoppers in recent years has not kept up with increasing costs such as gas for police cars, asphalt to pave our city streets, insurance to protect our recreation centers, or even salaries to pay staff that do these jobs every single day. You know how it is. It's harder to go to the grocery store now. It's harder to go to the gas station. We have the same challenges. In strong economic times, the city has a little easier time keeping up with increasing costs to provide services. But as economic uncertainty continues to grow, it's getting tougher, and the sales tax collected from shoppers is flat and is projected to remain flat in the coming years. Shoppers are shopping less, but just like we're all finding at home, costs for city services are going up. The challenge isn't about government growth. This is about how we as a community pay for the services that our residents expect and are asking for. This is about your community and the kind of city that you want to live in. Staff and City Council have started exploring ways to address this continuing financial imbalance, so stay tuned. And this leads me to another difficult challenge, disinformation. While social media can be a great place to communicate and learn funny things, these platforms are not always the best way to find out what's really going on across your community. People don't always take the time to verify the truthfulness of what they see, hear, or read, or they fail to understand that many of the postings skew facts towards a specific opinion. I've gotten caught with that myself. If only running a city were as easy as a blog or a social media post makes it out to be. My ask of you, don't believe everything you read on social media or through a Google search. A little research can go a long way. Pro tip, follow the city's official social media channels and the website for accurate information, or reach out to your city councils or staff. Communicating facts is just one of the reasons why I wanted to bring back the State of the City tradition. So now, about 2026, we're a few months in. Your city council held its annual planning session in February and set several priorities for the year that are also shown here on the screen. So what are these? First, the ever-exciting charter update. The city charter is Lakewood's foundation that guides our daily operation of the city. First approved in 1983. For those of you that were here for that, thank you. The charter needs regular updates to keep it current with the city's changing needs. And with over 20 years since its last update, and after delaying this conversation last year to give the city council and the community more time to work on the zoning code, our city council is now eager to finally pick up this topic to assess the potential needed updates and to make sure it's compliant with our current needs and laws. Any changes will come to the ballot. Homelessness. I know we've talked a lot about that today, but that is one of our biggest goals again this year. While opening the Navigation Center is a significant step in addressing homelessness, the council will continue the discussion on these related impacts, including our increased police calls, the rise in encampments, and the growing demand for cleanups in parks and our public areas. We will also begin planning for a long-term use of the Action Center property that I mentioned that we purchased up on 14th Avenue. Number 3, for efforts with the local economy and local business, the investments that we're making in the infrastructure on West Colfax will ultimately bolster businesses by making it safer to visit them and protect their properties from flooding. This will also help reduce barriers for new businesses to move into and invest in that much needed area. City staff also launched an open rewards program to support businesses in that corridor by offering shoppers a 5% reward for shopping locally. Please look at what's on Colfax and go up there and check it out. There is a lot more than just Casa Bonita, but that's good too. To address our financial challenge, I'm moving on to the next goal now. To address our financial challenges, the City Council will be exploring revenue options to pay for city services and looking at the intended uses for any of that new revenue. The Budget and Audit Board, which includes both Lakewood residents as well as City Council members, has begun the work and will discuss it at length, including engaging with residents on how best to move forward. And last, finally, about waste. Who doesn't want to end the talk about waste? We often receive complaints about the volume of trash trucks going up and down our neighborhood streets throughout the week. And this year, it's a priority to look at the ways that we can update the city's licensing of trash companies to address this issue. Updating the licensing will help us to ensure residents have free curbside recycling, particularly of plastic, which is a new state law. To help you follow the progress on all of these priorities that I've mentioned, we are also working on an improved tracking tool for the City Council goals on our website. So a quick mention and a shout out to our city employees who help implement the City Council's vision for these 2026 priorities. Thank you. And to our residents that bring forward thoughts, concerns, suggestions on how we can do all of it better, thank you. I started this speech by saying that together we thrive. So what does that mean? Volunteers are at the heart of everything that we do in Lakewood. In 2025, in fact, we had more than 1,000 volunteers contribute over 38,000 hours valued at $1.53 million. From everything from cultural center performances, you saw a few of them today, to youth sports coaches. Our police department has volunteers, our victim advocates, all over the city. April is actually National Volunteer Month, if you didn't know it. It provides an opportunity to not only get activated in giving time to our community partners, but also a time to recognize and celebrate the individuals who generously give their time, their skills, and compassion to strengthen and improve our community around us. So I'm gonna ask, if you have volunteered to support any of our city events, so we're talking about City of Lakewood, city events or programs, raise your hand and keep it up. If you have volunteered at a local school or church, raise a hand and keep it up. And how about those of you that have volunteered for any other local nonprofit? I wish I could see the hands. And any other capacity this year, raise your hand. So as a group, I would love for all of us to give a round of applause for all these remarkable people. Paid staff can't do it alone, anywhere, not even just the city. But we're talking about an action center, all of our nonprofits. We need you. Our schools need you. Thank you for showing up. This brings me to an exciting announcement and a challenge I raise to all of you, whether you're watching on TV or on your computer or here in the room. The creation of Team Love Lakewood. Team Love Lakewood will be a network of residents who care deeply about our city and are ready to step in when it matters most, so that together we can thrive. I'm leading this volunteer initiative designed to expand engagement opportunities and bring residents together in support of our neighbors. Team Love Lakewood will serve as a centralized opt-in volunteer network where residents can sign up to receive notifications about upcoming volunteer opportunities, city initiatives, as well as community events. It's designed to help encourage volunteering in the community through city-led efforts, activities that will be led by city council members, they don't even know about this yet, and events organized by local community groups and more. Team Love Lakewood will complement and expand upon the existing Love Lakewood Day. Anyone that has participated in that, thank you. In fact, we had 2 amazing individuals last year that picked up trash on their anniversary on Love Lakewood Day. So thank you. Love Lakewood Day is organized by our local nonprofit ServeSpot, and ServeSpot plans this amazing volunteer day of projects every September, every fall of each year. In fact, I recently heard a really amazing story about Love Lakewood Day and Dean Elementary. Dean Elementary School was listed as one of the project sites for Love Lakewood Day, but with the event at less than 2 weeks away, the school still was waiting for volunteers to sign up. Fortunately, Colorado Christian Church members showed up, jumped in at the opportunity to serve, and showed up in greater than expected numbers. Just a few short hours later, the school grounds were significantly cleaner and more beautiful, resulting in students really feeling the love from their community. And thank you to everybody who made that happen. Stories like this are exactly why I'm launching Team Love Lakewood. Through the last few months, and especially as we moved into this special election, I received more and more requests for, Wendy, how can we bring our city together? And I'm telling you, it starts with us. Each and every person in this room, each and every person watching today's show, or doing all the other things that we're doing across Lakewood. This is where I'm asking our residents to subscribe to Team Love Lakewood e-newsletter to receive periodic updates about opportunities where you too can participate in this work to bring us all together. Scan the QR code that's on the screen or stop by the table in the lobby and sign up to pick up some fun giveaway items while you're there too. One of our first opportunities will actually be Earth Day events coming up later this month on April 25th. I hope all of you will sign up and come together for Lakewood. And finally, before I close, today would not be complete without taking a moment to honor City Manager Kathy Hodson. For those who haven't heard, Ms. Hodson recently announced her retirement after 46 years of service to the city of Lakewood. She will be retiring later this summer, although we will formally recognize Kathy this summer. I want to take a moment today to honor her truly remarkable contributions to our city while I have all of your attention. Kathy's journey began in Lakewood as a lifeguard at Morris Park Pool, where she literally watched over her community. While her role evolved from the pool to City Hall, her mission never changed: to protect, support, and guide the community forward. When Kathy was hired, female city managers were still rare. Today, Colorado ranks first in the nation for women in municipal leadership. And Kathy is now the longest serving city manager in our state. I'm gonna go off script here for just a second, because what that means is that our city has had longevity and continuity, and that is what helped our city council be so effective at some of these goals that we have set forward. Thank you. Thank you for staying with us. And recently, Kathy received City Manager of the Year award also from the Colorado City and County Management Association. Thank you very much. And I don't even have to ask the audience for a round of applause. Like, thanks everybody. So to help us close this presentation and to demonstrate our theme, please enjoy this brief closing video.
A city is more than streets and buildings. It's more than projects and plans. A city is people. It's neighbors who wave, volunteers who show up, and everyday acts of kindness that often go unnoticed. Thriving doesn't mean we always agree. It means we listen. It means we share ideas, even different ones, and choose respect. It means showing up for each other. It's coming together for safer neighborhoods, for streets where children can ride their bikes, for communities where people feel valued and cared for. It's choosing to protect what makes this place special. It's living sustainably, not just for today, but for generations to come. Thriving takes civility. It takes courage. It takes a willingness to work together, even when we see things differently. Because at the end of the day, we all want the same thing: a Lakewood where families feel safe, where neighbors feel seen, where opportunity is within reach. A Lakewood we are proud to call home. We don't just build projects, we build trust. We don't just solve problems, we build community. And when a community chooses to move forward together, there is nothing it cannot achieve. Together, we thrive.
A lot of work went into today, and I cannot end without saying a thank you to all of our staff involved here at the Cultural Center, here in our Communications City Manager's office, and I would like to say a special thank you to Victoria, wherever she is, for everything that she did to get us to today. These conversations started actually early last year, and sadly for me, we got bumped a few times on dates, but we are here in April, and it could not have actually ended up being a better time. There are no coincidences. So thank you to everybody here. Thank you to our sponsors who contributed today. Your work, your dollars will go to funding amazing things that are across Lakewood that will continue to help support thriving for our residents and beautifying our city all over. And thank you for our community members who took time out of your day and your schedules to be here to listen to what's going on here, and for your interest in learning on what we're looking at doing forward. And I ask you again to please join us on this work. I will stay after. I would love to connect with all of you. We have refreshments out in the lobby, and I look forward to seeing all of you out there. So thank you everybody for coming.